proved that India's early warning system is better than many leading centers.
So has BCCI ever tried to collaborate with you?
Maybe BCCI also plans their cricket match venue long before.
Dr. Mrutyunjay Mohapatra, thank you so much for coming to PTI.
Thank you very much.
You have a remarkable life. It is the kind of inspirational life that can produce movies. You were 6 years old in 1971 when a cyclone struck your village. Everything was devastated. Your entire crop was destroyed by the cyclone. For 1 year, you did not have rice to eat in your family. And that made an impact in your life, and you decided to do something about it. And you went on to become the top weather expert in India today. Tell us about this journey. Is this really true that incident as a 6-year-old made that change in your life?
Yes, certainly. It has played a major role when I grew as a meteorologist. Because whatever you experience in the childhood, that you remember forever in your life. So, in the early morning of 29th October 1971, when I was 6 years old, when I got up in the early morning, there was rain, very intense rain, strong winds, etc. So that devastation has made a mark in my life. So when I grew up and got an opportunity to work in India Meteorological Department as a meteorologist, that impression, that memory helped as a catalyst to instigate me to do something positively so that we can save, or we can try to save, to minimize loss of lives and properties.
So would you say that our forecasting system, our disaster preparedness is better than anybody else or as good as anybody else, or especially the United States, which faces a lot more equal number of hurricanes and typhoons?
So if I compare the early warning system of USA and early warning system of India, I would say that we are second to none. Our forecast accuracy, if you just look at, it was quite below the forecast accuracy of National Hurricane Center. I have got a comparison because when I was given the opportunity here to lead the cyclone warning, so that was the case in 2007 and 2008. Appreciation came from WMO for the cyclone Nargis. And finally, 2013, when filing became successful, where all the models failed from internationally, even US forecast also went wrong. US contacted our Prime Minister's office and others' office to tell that IMD is underestimating the intensity of this particular cyclone. Cyclone is very serious and so many people will die if you don't take action on these things. But finally, it so happened that their forecast went wrong and our forecast came correct. And many media people, they were playing the forecast by IMD, forecast by international centers, how their forecast went right. So that was, I think, that was a major breakthrough, which proved that India's early warning system is better than many leading centers and it is second to none. In 2006, project was taken up. I was the associate project director for weather forecasting. So we moved from analog type of weather forecasting to digital mode of weather forecasting with computers. Then we went for automated data collection, data plotting, data analysis, the forecast generation using the machines, and the man-machine interactions. Also, we went for developing various models and hence the multimodal scheme for forecasting. Not only that, we also went for specific modeling for heavy rainfall, storm surges, etc. Earlier, only some kind of nomograms were being used for that purpose. Then I remember I introduced IIT Delhi storm surge model, and which has been implemented not only in IMD but also in all meteorological agencies in Bay of Bengal, Arabian Sea region. So one was this one, and we went on improving our automated weather stations, automated rain gauges, then high wind speed recorders, and then radars and satellite, of course.
Right.
Then communication system, we went for a high-level communication system so that within 10 minutes we could get the data. Earlier it was taking 3 hours to get the data from different parts of the world. And you know, weather has no boundary. You have to take the data from different parts of the globe, have the analysis systematically every 3 hours, which can help you to find out what is the current status of weather. And accordingly, you can go for forecast for next few hours or next few days. I went for a benchmarking. So National Hurricane Center was taken up as a benchmark. At that time, our forecast accuracy was 50% less than their forecast accuracy. And we were having forecast only for 24 hours, when at that time they were giving forecast up to 3 days. Now, at present, if you just look at, we have got the forecast accuracy, which is about 30% better than the forecast accuracy of National Hurricane Center. In case of cyclone, I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And we are providing pre-genesis forecast. When a low pressure area is there, we are telling that there will be cyclone. But that type of forecast, nobody issues in the world at present.
Yeah.
So in that sense, with whatever technology we have, that we have utilized optimally and delivered the services to the people.
So obviously the timing of the elections across multi-phase, so there's a lot of concerns, it's happening when the large parts of the country, will be witnessing heat wave. And so what, according to you, would be ideally weather-wise or climatologically a time for holding elections? There's a context to this particular question. At some point, maybe 5 years from now, we'll have a one nation, one poll. So do you think which is the ideal time, ideal months to have elections?
General election in India is just like a major festival in the country.
Yes.
So there will be a number of rallies, number of meetings, and gathering of the people. So therefore, certainly the weather and climate has to be taken into consideration when you plan for this festival. And I used to inform you that the Election Commission of India has consulted India Meteorological Department, and we have provided at the initial stage the climatological informations for the month of March, April, May and June for different parts of the country, so that they can take a judicious decision in which part at what time they should conduct the elections. So for last 2 years we are providing what is the current situation of humidity and the forecast humidity for next 5 days, so that temperature humidity index is also generated and provides the feel-like temperature, so where the action is to be taken. Not only that, there are certain areas like northwest India where Lu prevails. Lu is nothing but the hot and dry wind. Usually in the month of May you will find this type of wind. So number one. Number two is that in the coastal area there will be land breeze and sea breeze. If sea breeze is weak today, then heat will be more. If land breeze is stronger today, then heat will be more. So therefore we predict what will be the strength of this wind along the coastal areas or the other parts of the country. So that will accentuate the information on the heat wave and the humidity to find out the final impact. So also we have done some vulnerability studies. So which area is more vulnerable district-wise towards the heat wave conditions? Where vulnerable means where people can die. So all these products are being generated and being provided to general public, district magistrate and state level authorities, stakeholders, including health, power, labor, agriculture, water resources, and many more at the central level, and also the state level, and also National Election Commission, and also the state election commissions are being provided this information regularly. So I hope that these informations will certainly help them to plan accordingly for election process.
How severe are heat waves going to be, A? And what will be your advice in view of this intense heat wave forecast to the political parties as well as general public?
As an early warning service provider, it is our responsibility to provide the forecast. And as for the forecast, whatever issued on the past April, so we are expecting heat wave conditions over Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, parts of Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, South Rajasthan, Madhya Maharashtra, Marathwada, and North Interior Karnataka, Telangana in the month of April. In the entire period of April to June, if you just look at entire central India, northern peninsula, and also some parts of northwest India are expected to have the heat wave conditions. If you consider the number of days, usually in the month of April we get 1 to 3 days of heat wave in different parts of the country. But this year we are expecting another 3 to 5 days extra.
Oh.
That means we can expect this year say 4 to 8 days. In some areas there could be 8 days, in some areas could be 4 days. So 4 to 8 days of heat wave conditions are expected in the month of April. And we provide the probability of occurrence also. Madhya Maharashtra, Gujarat, Saurashtra area has the higher probability, in addition to Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, coastal Odisha, and South Chhattisgarh. So this area is basically prone for heat wave climatologically in the month of April. If you consider month of June, usually we get 4 to 8 days. In some parts 4 and some parts 8 days of heat wave conditions, and normally the heat wave conditions occur in the central part, northern parts of the country, northern parts of peninsula. This year we are expecting 10 to 20 days.
In June?
No, total. So area where it will be more is the northern parts, especially Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, Odisha, Andhra Pradesh, Madhya Maharashtra, Vidarbha, Marathwada area, and on this side East UP, Bihar, Jharkhand. Based on our early warning, National Disaster Management Authority has issued some guidance to Election Commission. So now further warning that is issued based on the forecast of 1st March. Now 1st April forecast is issued, same has been communicated now to Election Commission, and I hope Election Commission and National Disaster Management Authority will again discuss and finalize the course of actions.
But they can't, what can they do? They can't change the election dates.
No, election dates cannot be changed because it's for a long time it has been decided. But on the day of election, if people are in the queue, they should have sufficient water to drink. There should be provision for first aid. There should be some health workers to help the people if they are fainting or if they are facing any sunstroke or something like that. And there should be some kind of shades. And there should be sufficient provision for the minimum requirements in terms of water.
Just be prepared.
Yeah, cooling.
Did you also suggest timing change?
No,
Like
we have not suggested any timing change. That is the decision has taken by the concerned authorities.
So, what impact can we see of this severe heat conditions on agriculture, electricity, water, especially when we have some states grappling with water shortage also?
So, if we consider agriculture, the dominant agriculture during this period has been so far is the wheat in northwest India. But locally, now wheat is already in the harvesting stage. Grain filling is almost over now, harvesting stage. Therefore, the rise in temperature will not have any such impact over northwest India. And further also, we are not predicting any heat wave condition for northwest India for the time being. In the month of April or so, it will be less. So, April to June, there will be something like that. Then the second point is that the central India, the peninsular India, there is horticulture. There will be vegetables, etc. That will be affected. So, that we have to take into consideration. If you consider animal health, yes, during the heat wave conditions, the poultry and others are severely affected. They also die, and therefore we have to provide some cooling system for them also. Similarly, if you look at health, there could be mortality, there could be morbidity. Mortality has been reduced from 2015. If you consider 2,000 people died in 2015, but nowadays it is reduced because of the heat action plan is in place. And there is warning system from season to month to week, then to day. So people are responding, response section has been improved. But still, morbidity is a problem. There could be morbidity, like headache, there could be stomach upset, there could be diarrhea, because of the need of water. Sometimes you do not get good water also, you will consume the water is available.
Sorry, what's the difference? Mortality and morbidity, how do you distinguish?
Mortality means people dies.
Yeah.
Morbidity means you become disease, you suffer from
just not, okay.
Yes.
We are talking a lot about extreme heat conditions, and of course we do see that there are a lot of extreme weather events that keep happening. So the inevitable kind of concern is, how much does this have to do with climate change, and what do we do? I mean, what is the road ahead? How do we get over this, and how do we kind of cope with it?
The climate change is talked by everyone nowadays, and it is a fact. It is improved that after the industrial era, beginning from 1850, there has been human intervention, and because of the human intervention, the natural ecosystem has been disturbed. The natural atmosphere has been disturbed. Now in the atmosphere, we are injecting certain additional gases like carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxides, etc. And dominantly carbon dioxide, which is released into the atmosphere additionally, that disrupts the carbon cycle, and this additional carbon dioxide increases the temperature of the atmosphere. So due to rise in this maximum temperature, the probability of heat wave has increased. Heat wave frequency, heat wave durations, heat wave intensity has increased in the country. If you consider data from the latest 50 years, 1970 onwards, it shows that there is a rapid increase from 1970 onwards globally and also in India. Now, if the temperature rises, it is not limited only to the heat wave. The cold wave frequency decreases. But that does not mean that cold wave will not be there, because variability of temperature is increasing, and hence in certain year also you can have very intense cold wave conditions. And rise in temperature is not limited only to the surface. It goes on increasing up to lower troposphere, say height up to 3 kilometers. Beyond that, there is fall in temperature. So in the middle troposphere and upper troposphere, there is fall in temperature. In lower troposphere, there is rise in temperature. So you just imagine, in an atmosphere, it was like this, temperature fall was like this in lower atmosphere. Now, it has become like this. That means the atmosphere become more unstable. Okay, the increase in unstable atmosphere leads to increase in thunderstorm activity. So area where the temperature is rising, that area is becoming more prone for the intense thunderstorm activity. And thunderstorm is a multi-hazard. It is associated with lightning, thunder, heavy rain, squall, gustiness, hailstorms, etc. And findings shows that lightning is increasing, and every year in the country about 2,500 people die due to lightning, though number of deaths has decreased due to tropical cyclones or the heat waves. Not only this, also due to the rise in temperature, or what you say, the global warming, there is change in climate and other parameters like heavy rain. Total amount of rainfall for the country as a whole remains almost same, about 87 centimeter or 88 centimeter in monsoon season. But if you look at the distribution during the season, you will find that it is not uniformly distributed as it was earlier. Number of days with light rain or moderate rain are decreasing, but number of days with heavy rain, say more than 15 centimeter or so, are increasing. So that means if an area is not getting rain, it is not getting rain continuously, but all of a sudden it is getting rain in a very short period, and it is heavy rain. So when it is heavy rain occurring in a very short period, the percolation in the ground decreases and runoff increases. So therefore there will be soil erosion, there will be decrease in water recharge, groundwater recharge, and this rapid runoff will lead to the flooding, especially if it is hilly area or if it is urban areas. So therefore urban flooding probability, the phenomena like the landslides or mudslides, mudsliding in association with the cloudburst or the mini cloudburst, whatever you say, that increases. At the same time, the riverine floods also increasing. If I look at last 50 years, the frequency of riverine flooding is also increasing. Because of this, frequency of drought is also increasing. You may say how total amount of rainfall remaining same, the variability of rainfall has increased. Year to year variability has increased. It is not so much consistent. Therefore, the frequency of flood is increasing and frequency of drought is increasing. But as I explained with respect to thunderstorm, that the system is becoming unstable, atmosphere is becoming unstable, therefore thunderstorm is increasing. But in case of cyclone, the phenomena which is favorable for occurrence of thunderstorm is not favorable for occurrence of cyclone. So for cyclone, you need increase in humidity in the middle troposphere. That is not occurring because it is cooling at that time. So the total frequency of cyclone is not increasing. It is decreasing globally, and here also you find that there is a decrease. But if you consider the very intense cyclones, like extremely severe cyclone with wind speed more than 150 km per hour, that frequency is increasing globally, and here it is increasing over the Arabian Sea, not over Bay of Bengal. Bay of Bengal remains same. So with all these things, with all this increase of frequency or intensity or remaining same, the vulnerability of the country is increasing, because the increase in socioeconomic activity made us more vulnerable. So earlier we have got, so for example, one thatched house. If it is lost a few thousand rupees. But if it is now concrete house is lost, you lose a number of lakhs of rupees. So by that way, our socioeconomic activity, which is led to our development of the country, it is becoming more vulnerable due to the increase in frequency, intensity, or duration of various types of extreme weather events.
Tell me, is IMD planning to use or has already started using AI in weather forecasting?
To further improve, to downscale, to provide forecast at the village level, or to provide forecast for specific hazard level. For example, if I want to give a warning for heavy rainfall at say panchayat level or village level, IMD is not able to provide that forecast. IMD is providing forecast at district level, then block level. So how to go for panchayat level or village level? Similarly, there could be some specific requirement for agriculture sector, or for health sector, or for urban sector, or for hydrology sector, or for, say, environmental sector. So for that also, you need to modulate the basic weather informations to the requirement of the particular sector. There is another thing that nowadays informations are plenty. So forecaster has to take a decision. So within such a plentiful of information, you have to take one decision and to tell public that what is going to happen. So there also you need some kind of objective decision making process which can help to take a very judicious and more accurate decision making. So therefore in brief I will tell you, there is a need for downscaling the weather information developed by the numerical weather models to village level or the panchayat level. There is a need for a system for a decision making out of the plentiful of information from observations and models. There is a need for tuning the observations and forecasts generated by IMD to the requirement of each and every sector as per their requirement. So to carry out these three aspects, globally people are trying with artificial intelligence, machine learning. Artificial intelligence or machine learning models are based on the data. This is a data science model. They don't go into the physics of the model. They don't go into the physics of the phenomena. Whatever past data we have got, that can be utilized to extract the knowledge, and that knowledge can be utilized to provide the forecast.
So we are doing
Quite
it?
yeah. So IMD also have started the artificial intelligence in the Ministry of Earth Sciences. In IMD, we have formed a group. Also have gone for collaborations with IITs, triple ITs, various NITs, universities. We are collaborating. Certain results are available in certain ways, very, you can say very limited way. We are now utilizing artificial intelligence. But if you look at next 5 years, certainly artificial intelligence will grow, the models and techniques will be developed, and I am of the opinion that artificial intelligence based models and techniques will supplement and complement the numerical weather prediction models. Both will work hand in hand. Nobody can replace the other. And this dual engine concept will help to improve the three objectives what I told, a very high resolution specific weather forecast, more accurate weather forecast, also sector-specific forecast, and also the decision-making by the forecasters.
Great. One of the areas where weather is very important is cricket match. So has BCCI ever tried to collaborate with you?
We are going on collaborating with more and more agencies.
Talking about weather fixing, is it?
Maybe BCCI also plans their cricket match venue long before.
Right.
And at that time, they can consider the climatological informations, but usually they do not approach us.
But you would be happy if they...
Yeah, we will be happy. We are providing, for example, when there is an international hockey, or there is any international program, say last time G20, every time we provide forecast. And government takes the forecast. And many private agencies also take the forecast. But so far BCCI has not taken the forecast. But what we do actually on our own, if there is a match, for example, in Ahmedabad, we provide forecast for Ahmedabad specially during that cricket match period.
You know, one thing with weather is, when you meet anyone, the talk is on weather. When two strangers talk, it's on weather. It's a kind of an icebreaker also, you know. But there have been times, I think it's a thing of the past now, where IMD used to be a butt of jokes, you know, where it says there are going to be rains in the next 2 hours, no rains. Exactly the opposite. Good sunshine, but you have rains later.
Yeah.
So is this, are we assured that, you know, it's no more the case where we have to...
Yeah, you are right. Gone are those days when the forecast was completely wrong. People did not have the confidence. People did not believe the IMD's forecast. If we say that it will rain, they know that it will not rain, they will not carry umbrella. If we say that it will not rain, they will carry umbrella.
Exactly
That's the case. There has been many criticism in the past. But now if you just look at, even a person is going for his child's marriage, he is asking before fixing the venue, or fixing the date, so what could the weather during that period? Similarly, I will take an example for Zomato. Okay, so Zomato takes forecast from IMD for their day-to-day activities. Similarly, now RBI, I'm talking about from small business, I'm going to the highest economic body of the country. RBI takes forecast from India Meteorological Department. So nowadays, because of this improvement in forecast accuracy, confidence of the people, and improvement in socio-economic condition of the country, people are more or less utilizing these informations. And I hope as we improve as a society, the demand also will improve, and we will meet the demand by supplying the informations. And country will gain. I will tell you, the 5% GDP is lost because of the natural disasters associated with weather and climate. So with the improvement in forecast accuracy, just imagine how much we have saved. So people see that.